No, that's fine. Okay, so if I finish solving this, negative 36 divided by 4 is negative 9. I don't switch the sign because I'm dividing by a positive. So if I graph this like we've done before, x is greater than negative 9. You always read the variable first. So put negative 9 in the middle, negative 10, negative 11, negative 8, negative 7. X is just greater than, so it's an open circle, negative 9. Read the variable x is greater than negative 9, greater than, always shade to the right. Now, interval notation, this is really the only new thing we're introducing today. So as I look at it, start from the left and you work to the right. So always start from the left and work to the right. So if I start from the left, I start with negative 9. It's an open circle, so I'm going to use parentheses. So it's going to be parenthesis negative 9, comma. And as I look to the right, it goes to infinity. So negative 9 to infinity. And I always use the parenthesis with infinity because it's open, because I can't close in infinity. So interval notation for this one would be negative 9 to infinity. Okay, so interval, remember, is between two numbers. So this answer would be between negative 9 and infinity. That's what an interval means. Okay, let's look at number 2 real quick. If I look at number 2, I need to distribute that negative 3. The x just stays there, and I distribute the negative 3. So negative 3 times x minus 3x, negative 3 times 2, negative 6 is greater than 4. So you treat it just like a normal equation. Let's simplify on the left. Let's combine 1x minus 3x, negative 2x minus 6 is greater than 4. Add 6 to both sides. Negative 2x is greater than 10. Feel free to pause this video if you need to catch up, and then divide by negative 2. Now I am dividing by a negative, so I have to switch the direction of the symbol. So x is less than negative 5. So I divided by negative, so make sure you switch the symbol. So x is less than negative 5. X is less than negative 5, so negative 5, negative 4, negative 3, negative 6, and negative 7. It's an open circle at negative 5 because it's not equal to, it's just less than. So open circle, x is less than, always read the variable first, x is less than, so you shade to the left. Now interval notation, you start from the left and work your way right. So if I start from the left, I am going to infinity. So it says infinity, you always use parenthesis with infinity. Infinity up to negative 5. And it's an open circle, so you use the parenthesis with that negative 5. Okay, let's go ahead and look at, let's look at 4. If I look at 4, let's distribute the negative 8. So negative 8x, negative 8 times negative 1 plus 8 minus x is less than or equal to negative 28. Let's combine the x's on the left-hand side. Negative 8x minus x, negative 9x plus 8 is less than or equal to negative 28. Start solving it. Minus 8, negative 9x is less than or equal to negative 27. Sorry, negative 28 minus 8, negative 36. So negative 36 divided by negative 9. I divide by negative, so switch the direction. Instead of x is less than or equal to, it's greater than or equal to. Negative 36 divided by negative 9 is positive 4. X is greater than or equal to 4, so I put a 4, 5, 6, 3, 2. Close circle at 4. X is greater than or equal to, so I shade to the right. X is greater than, we always shade to the right. Now if I do interval notation, you start from the left and work your way right. So if I start at the left, I'm going to start at 4. It's a filled-in circle, so I have to use the square bracket. So 4, comma, and it goes to infinity. And we always use parentheses with the infinity symbol. Okay, let's go ahead and flip it over. We're going to look at a couple on the back. Let's look at number 6 real quick. So the only difference with number 6, you'll notice there's no distributing, but I have an x on the left and an x on the right. So there's no distributing to do. Left side we can't put anything together. The right side we can't put anything together. So we're going to get my variables together. So we're going to subtract 5x. You could also subtract 2x, but I'm just going to subtract 5x. 2x minus 5x, start from the left. 2x minus 5x, negative 3x minus 1 is less than or equal to 20. Add 1, negative 3x is less than or equal to 21. Divide by negative 3. I'm dividing by a negative, so I switch the direction, so that becomes x is greater than or equal to negative 7. It's greater than or equal to negative 7, so it's negative 7, negative 6, negative 5, negative 8, negative 9. It's a filled-in circle at negative 7. X is greater than or equal to, so I shade to the right. And interval notation, you start from the left and work your way right. So if I start from the left, it's a filled-in circle at negative 7, so it's the square bracket at negative 7, because I include negative 7, and it goes all the way to infinity, and you always use parentheses with infinity. Okay, let's go ahead and look at another one. Let's look at 8 real quick. If I look at 8, let's distribute the negative 3 first. So negative 3x minus 6 minus 3x is less than 2x plus 18. So always distribute first. And then look at your left and right side to see if there's anything that I can put together. Is there anything I can put together on the left side? Well, I can put together the x's. So negative 3x minus 3x, negative 6x minus 6 is less than 2x plus 18. Now let's get my variables together. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to go ahead and minus the 2x minus the 2x. Start from the left. Negative 6x minus 2x, negative 8x minus 6 is less than. 2x's cancel, 18. Add the 6. Negative 8x is less than 18 plus 6, 24. Divide by negative 8. I'm dividing by a negative, so you switch the direction. So it becomes x is greater than, instead of less than, 24 divided by negative 8, negative 3. So put negative 3 in the middle, negative 4, negative 5 to the left, negative 2, negative 1. It's backwards because it's negative. X is greater than negative 3, so it's an open circle at negative 3. And x is greater than, so I shade to the right. So if I do interval notation, I start from the left. It's an open circle at negative 3. Open circle means I do not include negative 3, so I put parentheses. Negative 3, and I'm going from negative 3 to infinity, and we always use parentheses with infinity. Okay, let's look at 10 real quick. Let's look at 10. If I look at 10, let's go ahead and distribute the negative. So be careful, even though there's no number there, that's just a negative 1. So we're going to go ahead and distribute that negative 1. So negative 1 times 3, negative 3x. Negative 1 times 3 is negative 3. The minus 2x is not in parentheses, so it just stays minus 2x is greater than. Distribute the negative 4. Negative 4x plus 8 minus 2. Start from the left. Negative 3x minus 2x, negative 5x minus 3. Combine both, or simplify. On the right side, I can put the 8 minus the 2, so that's negative 4x plus 6. Both sides are simplified, so now I can start moving things around. Let's go ahead and get my variables together. So I'm going to add 4x. So to start from the left, negative 5 plus 4x, negative x minus 3 is greater than 6. 4x's cancel. Add 3. Negative x is greater than 9. Divide by negative 1. X, switch the direction because I divide by a negative. X is less than negative 9. Okay, x is less than negative 9, so negative 9 in the middle, negative 10, negative 11 on the left, negative 8, negative 7 on the right. Open circle. X is less than negative 9, so I shade to the left. And as I go ahead and look at this, to do interval notation, you start from the left. Well, the left is infinity. So it's negative infinity, because I'm going to negative infinity to negative 9. It's an open circle, so I put negative 9 in parentheses. I made a mistake. I realized on number 2, it should be negative infinity, so change that real quick. So from the left, I'm going from negative infinity to 5, so it should be negative infinity. Okay, let's look at 9 real quick, and then we'll be done. You can start the homework. So if I look at 9, we need to distribute. So I'm going to distribute the negative 3. So the 5x stays out front. Negative 3 times x, negative 3x minus 18 is greater than or equal to, distribute the negative 1. So 8 minus x, negative times the negative 7 is a positive 7. Combine things together on the left side. So 5x minus 3x is 2x minus 18 is greater than or equal to, combine things on the right side, 8 plus 7, so 15 minus x. Let's go ahead and I'm going to get your variables together. So I'm going to subtract 2x to the right side just to switch it up. Start from the left. 2x's cancel. Negative 18 is greater than or equal to 15. Negative x minus 2x is negative 3x. It doesn't matter which side you take the variable, you'll get the same answer. Let's subtract 15. So minus 15 to get the x together. So negative 18 minus 15, negative 33 is greater than or equal to negative 3x. Divide by negative 3. When I divide by negative 3, it switches the direction. So negative 33 divided by negative 3 is positive 11. It becomes less than or equal to, because I switch the direction, because I divide by negative 3, x. Now be careful. When x is on the right side, you need to be careful. So let's put 11, 12, 13, 10, 9. It's still a filled in circle, but you have to read your variable first. X is greater than or equal to 11. So since x is greater than or equal to 11, we shade to the right. So even though it looks like less than, x is greater than or equal to, so I shade to the right. I want numbers greater than or equal to 11, so I shade to the right. Interval notation, start from the left. It's a filled in circle, so that's a square bracket at 11 to infinity, which is always parentheses. Okay, so now you should have these written down, so the rest of the time work on the homework.